Nom Nom delivers fresh food with whole ingredients backed by veterinarian science. Science tells us that a dog's health starts in the bowl, so improving their diet is one of the best ways to help them live a long and happy life. Nom Nom's food is full of proteins your dog loves and the vitamins and nutrients they need to thrive. All you have to do is order, pour, and serve. Ready to make the switch to fresh? Order Nom Nom today. Go to https://trynom.com/curveball and get 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's https://trynom.com/curveball. Plus, Nom Nom comes with a money-back guarantee. If your dog's tail isn't wagging within 30 days, Nom Nom will refund your first order. No fillers, no nonsense, just Nom Nom. Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, I am joined by multi-award-winning writer and artist, Caruso. Caruso is the founder of the band, the U.S. alt-rock band 308.
It's 308 Ghost Train.
Ghost Train, got you. Yeah. 308 Ghost Train. Wanted to make sure I got that correct.
Yes, sir.
308 Ghost Train has over 50 million streams. They have been nominated for 20 awards, and they've won 5. So we're going to be talking to Caruso about everything that he's up to and why he founded the band and everything about 308 Ghost Train. So Caruso, thank you so much for joining me today.
Man, thank you so much. And it's Curtis, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Curtis, thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, I mean, it's been a real magical journey for me. First, I have to give a lot of thanks and glory to the Lord, because that's where this whole journey has stemmed from, is God's grace. And it's just to give you a little background on me, is back in 2015.
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. I'll start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself, so go ahead with it.
Okay, so back in 2015, in September 2015, I actually died on the table during a heart surgery. And when I came to, the doctor told me that I had died, and he brought me back to life. And I wish he'd have never told me that, Curtis, because I kind of got my head all messed up. But, it took me about a year to recover physically and mentally. And I was so tortured by, the thought of mortality every second of the day, that I used to go down to this tree where I'd meditate, try to keep my mind free and pray. And I was just so at my wit's end with, dealing with, with the life or death thing, that I looked up at this branch where I sat down, and I'd seriously considered just ending it all. But I didn't. I went home that night. I went to sleep, and about 5:30 in the morning, I woke up with a song in my head. It was interesting because I had never had songs in my sleep before up until this point. And so I ran to my little corner of the room, and I finished it in about 10 minutes. And the song was called Warned, and it's the first song I ever wrote for the 308 Ghost Train. And 50 million streams, 49 award nominations, 30 global releases, and 9 wins later, I have never looked back.
Well, it sounds like your dog was glad that you didn't end it all as well.
Yeah, my poor baby. I'm so sorry about that.
No problem.
He just got excited for a minute. But
that's how it happens with live shows.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. They're usually generally quiet, but I guess he wanted to. He's a ham. He wants to make sure he's here.
Absolutely.
So he'll be quiet from now on. But so 308 Ghost Train comes from John 308. The wind blows where it pleases. No one knows where it comes or goes, but it's in everyone born of the Spirit. And I felt like I had a direct connection with the divine after that day. So I felt like the ghost, who I call God the ghost, Holy Ghost, that me and the Holy Ghost had like some type of connection. So, and everybody calls me Train as a nickname. So henceforth, I named the band the 308 Ghost Train.
Okay, well, that was going to be my next question I was going to ask. So you already answered that one. So tell us what kind of music you guys do. If I was to listen to your music, what could we expect to hear?
Well, it's interesting because I'm considered a multi-genre artist. I have songs that are in the alt rock vein. Um, if you listen to Caruso and the 308 Ghost Train, this whole story kind of 308 Ghost Train happens, and then after a few years, the train gets put in a station. And last year, my solo debut, under my name Caruso, comes out, and that's more adult, contemporary, easy listening. So you can expect to hear anything from alt rock to easy listening and anything in between. I've been compared a lot to CCR, John Fogerty, John Bon Jovi, John Mellencamp. I've also been. People have also said that my new music is reminiscent of a lot of the old, it's late '70s, early '80s yacht rockers like Hall and Oates, David Gates and Brad, Loggins and Messina. Some of that Christopher Cross. Some of that stuff that they used to call soft rock back in the days. It's now it's called contemporary easy listening. And I'm also signed to Grace Records in Nashville, Curtis, as a contemporary Christian artist. I have a deal there to put out messages and songs that are in the contemporary Christian realm. So I'm kind of going up the mountain 3 different ways, which is really interesting because I get to go across multiple platforms, which a lot of artists don't get that chance. So yeah, you can find something in my catalog that probably will set well with you, no matter what your tastes are.
Absolutely. So you are a multi-award winning writer and artist. So kind of tell us about some of the awards that you have won.
Shoo, man, I've been blessed, man. I'll tell you, I've won a Posy Award for Song of the Year. I've won uh, I've won a CMA, a Midwestern CMA. I've won an ISA, International Singer Songwriters Association award last year. I won a Single of the Year. I won the Rampage Awards for the Music Video of the Year this year. Um, I've won World Songwriting Awards. I mean, good Lord, I've had a really a really good run. So I've got right now I got 9. So and I'm up for 29 this year. So I'm really honored and humbled. I don't know where it's all going to go, but God seems to be lifting me up. And today I got accepted and invited and accepted as a member of the Recording Academy, the Grammys. So I accepted my invitation today, and I became a voting member there. So it's been one thing after another, Curtis. It's just been one climb step at a time, but we're getting close to a pretty high place, you know.
Man, look at you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I got to give it all to God. I mean, I'm telling you, this story is not one of the normal ones. I mean, everybody has a pathway to success or to the level that they go. This one has definitely been miraculous, and it's something that I cannot take all the credit for, Curtis. I can only take the credit for showing up, but the God-given talent and gifts and whatever the ghost has been doing to blow the wind one way or another, that's all stuff that I just have been obedient to, and that's why I think I'm reaping the harvest of the seeds that are planted.
Absolutely. So tell us about some of your artist influences. What or who influences you to make you do what you do?
Well, I have I've got a lot of influences in different ways. When I was young, I used to take the Beatles songs, McCartney and Lennon, and I had always had this thing where a song that really made me feel good inside. I didn't want to listen to it as much as I wanted to know why it did that. So I would take the songs and I would kind of dissect them, find out what the chords were, where the changes were, why this was making this, feel, this way. And I wanted to become a songwriter because, I wanted to make people feel with my music the way they made me feel with theirs. So, that was where I started. And vocally, I think in the beginning, John Fogerty had a lot of influence over me with Creedence Clearwater Revival. Him and Bon Jovi had a lot of influence, in my life. Nowadays I write so differently. I can be affected by, just a writer. A lot of the guys from the late '70s, early '80s really, really touched me a lot. Like I said, Hall and Oates, Loggins and Messina and David Gates and Bread. And there's hundreds of them, Curtis. You go back to those days where they called it yacht rock, like we talked about. You go back to those days, and you can hear one hit wonders or two hit wonders that are just unbelievable, and they're great songs. And I got to say that I'm influenced by a plethora of writers throughout the history of music. I've listened to everything from, opera to, I love the Ink Spots, if you remember them, the Mills Brothers. I used to listen to that. Lots of the '50s guys, Chuck Berry, I all the way up into today. I mean, all the way up to Ed Sheeran. I listen to him a lot. I have a real library inside my head.
Absolutely. So tell us about the current and upcoming projects that you're working on, either with 308 Ghost Train or Caruso, and both of them that the listeners need to know about.
Okay, so what has happened now this year is that Grace Records of Nashville, that I'm signed to, has, even though I'm on the label for Contemporary Christian, we're working on forging the whole project together. So it's going to now be Caruso and the 308 Ghost Train, and it's going to actually be my new deal is probably going to take me up both sides. So I'm going to have a deal that requires me to release so many EPs a year on the Christian side, and then I'll have one that I have to release on the mainstream side. So there's going to be a lot of work to be done. I'm working on my last song for the EP. That's "Follow the Wind" on Grace Records. That's going to be out. The singles are already out. My Walk in the Wind has been released, and World Without Love will be next. And then so that's going on right now. And I'm recording that project, and I'm getting ready with the band. I have a 9-member band that makes up me and the 308 Ghost Train. So, and that band is big because if, depending on a show, I can do anything from, if I play in a church on the one side and I can sing the tracks, or I can sing with an acoustic. Or, depending on what they want, fair and festival, it can be anywhere up to 9 pieces. So I'm busy doing rehearsals and working on the tour. So I got a lot going on. A whole lot going on, but it's better to be busy than not. So I thank God that I have this, and I'm just looking forward to what the future holds for the next, whatever years God lets me ride the wave, so to speak.
Well, throw out your contact information so listeners can keep up with everything that you're up to, and let us know where we can listen to your music.
Okay, so if you want to listen to my music, it is on every platform, whichever one you like. I always tell people I made a playlist since it was so confusing for people because it's 3 artistries. I made a playlist called "This Is Caruso," and if you go to that on Spotify, it has all the songs in one playlist. So you don't have to go searching for them. And I thought that was, I did that for my future fans so that they could, find out which songs they like, and they can pick them and they can play them and save them or whatever. That's the best way to listen to all my music. If you want to connect with me, I have a Facebook. You just go to Facebook and look up Caruso the artist. Twitter's the same way. I don't know whatever your poison is. Instagram, Instagram's under Caruso and the 308 Ghost Train. And you'll see that too. Under Caruso, you'll see Caruso and the 308 Ghost Train. Anywhere you see that, that's a social media hub that you can get in touch with me, contact me. I try to answer all my own responses because I feel that I should be connected to that. But if not, I have people that, do that for me, and then they let me know. So if you have something you want to know or a question, I can answer that for you.
Okay, we'll close this out with some final thoughts. Maybe if there was something that I forgot to touch on that you would like to talk about, or just any final thoughts you have for the listeners.
Well, I just say that, no matter what you're doing in life, hold on, because I am living proof that one more day really made a difference in an entire life.
Short and sweet, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check out Caruso and the 308 Ghost Train. Please be sure to follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible, especially those who would like Caruso. And I think everybody should check it out and listen to what him and his band is up to. If you have any guests or suggestion topics, cjackson102@cox.net is the place to send them. As usual, thank you for listening. And Caruso, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Curtis. I'll come back anytime. I appreciate you, brother.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.